welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be talking about Chopin's Nocturne, Opus 48 No. 1. The Nocturnes are a sheer masterclass in terms of harmony, and it offers an insight in terms of how Chopin crafts his musical ideas into an entire piece. We will analyze the first section of this piece in detail. We begin the piece in the key of C minor, and we're immediately presented with three layers: an octave bass in the low registers, the accompanying chord, and the melody in the soprano. And it's interesting how Chopin includes breaks and syncopation in the melody. It gives the impression of a singer who's hesitant and restrained. Chopin even marks mezzo voce, which literally means half-voiced. Notice how the bass doesn't move much either. Chopin doesn't want to reveal too much yet. And it seems like the melody here is gaining some confidence with a fuller, more uninterrupted line, and the bass starts to expand. A nice half diminished 7th chord here, into 5/7 again. And we see an interesting B-flat acciaccatura here, which clashes very nicely with the B natural in the 5 chord. There is a small innovative melodic idea here, where Chopin doesn't just end on the on beat like most melodies as such, but he includes a small melodic tail. We have the melody restated, but we are now seemingly in E flat major. Especially with this B flat 7 chord, which we'd expect to resolve into E flat, but instead goes into the 2/2 diminished 7th of G minor, then solidifying the key of G minor with a strong 1-6-4-5-1 cadence. An expressive octave leap in the melody here, which rises back up to an extremely dissonant E flat against an octave D in the bass, outlining a 5/9 chord in the minor. The melody leaps back down a diminished 7th interval and suspends on the F sharp for an entire beat before resolving to G. Next, we have an interesting tonal shift to D flat major, and the sudden harmonic shift is softened by the chromatically descending bass. The melody climbs up in intervals and is adorned by arpeggiated acciaccaturas. The bass then chromatically descends once more into the 5/7 chord of C minor, once again throwing us back into the original tonality. We can also look at this tonality shift into D flat major as a momentary focus on the Neapolitan chord of C minor. We will see this more in detail in the final bars of the piece. Next, we have a climbing bass, which interestingly enough foreshadows the melody in the right hand later on. Although I doubt this was consciously done by Chopin. And we have a small sequence melody, which is expanded on further. We finally have the reprisal of the main melody, and yet again, Chopin uses a different harmonic guise, and we have a long circle of fifths in the bass, which stretches all the way to the 5/7 chord. But Chopin doesn't end it here. He extends the melody even further, including many chromatic non-harmony notes to color the melody even more. We finally reach a strong definitive 1/6/4/5/1 cadence. We can see how Chopin constantly plays around with rhythm in the melody, using note values ranging from crotchets to demi-semiquavers to triplets and sextuplets. This gives an overall improvisatory feel to the music, which is one of the defining features of Chopin's music. Looking quickly through the rest of the piece, we will find that we enter a chorale section, a common appearance in many of Chopin's nocturnes, and it is in C major. This chorale section repeats, with interspersed chromatic octaves in both hands that link the chords. We have a nice cascading pentatonic gesture at the very end. Finally, we return to the principal theme, again in C minor, and the entire section is basically repeated. The melody and harmony are completely the same. We just have an additional triplet chordal pattern in the accompaniment. At the very end, we notice again a momentary tonal shift to D flat major, with Chopin using the 5/7 chord of D flat immediately after the 5/7 of C minor. But here, we hear the D flat chord much more like a Neapolitan chord, since it is now in first inversion, and the F is in the bass. So thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Do leave me a comment down below, let me know what you think. Was this helpful to you? And yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.